Sharenting? Are we sharing too much? Welcome to another episode of Common Sense, where we apply common sense to everyday topic. So, I'm sure you're all thinking, what is Sharenting? So, Sharenting is essentially just parenting, but the fact that at the moment we've got an epidemic of parents sharing the lives of their children online and on social media. And I think I was just telling Jude that it's gotten so bad that at the moment I'm actually quite enjoying, which I think is so sad, I'm enjoying content where I'm watching babies just eat food, like being weaned off milk, and they're just eating solids. And I sit there on TikTok just literally just watching of them trying different foods and their reaction. And I'm like, why am I watching someone else's child?
I think I've seen those.
Yeah.
Some of the kids don't react fine.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
So they'll be like trying.
I thought it was cruel. Some of them.
Really?
Yeah, I thought some of them was cruel.
But you're just, because it's, yeah.
Yes.
And it's everyday, like, it's just, I guess it's everyday life. But now, like, I feel like everything is online.
If we were talking about the same video, see, when it's almost as if they're using deception to feed them something different. They come with like the milk and they give them something else.
Oh,
and the child reacts like funny or bad or something.
No. This one is literally just like 6-month-old, perhaps. And then you're like, oh yes, so today we're gonna try potatoes and sausages for the first time with a side of broccoli, and you're just watching them eat.
So that's okay. It's a different one.
Put it in their mouth, and you just see their reactions.
I haven't seen
the texture and all of that stuff. So yeah, so I've been enjoying that content, and I think it's quite sad. And I've sat back and I'm like, would I do that with my child? Absolutely not.
But if you thought that there was something for other mothers to know or benefit from your knowledge, probably you would.
Yeah, but I wouldn't put plaster on my child's face all over social media.
Oh, I see. You do it
in
a different way.
You can still do it in like
without putting the face there.
Because you can still make the food and be like, okay, so today you don't have to show their face. Okay.
But
I think there just isn't. I think, I don't know, maybe it's just me and I'm just overthinking it.
No, you're not overthinking it. I think there's a lot of that going on, but
yeah,
it's obviously the use of the internet and social media. I always ask people, what is the end game for you?
Yeah.
Are you making money out of it?
Mm-hmm.
Are you just a consumer?
Mm-hmm.
And yesterday I came across for the first time in my life on LinkedIn. Was it LinkedIn? No, I think it's Instagram. Somebody actually described themselves as a content consumer. I never heard that term before.
No, I haven't either, actually.
I know people say content creator and all of that. This one say I'm a content consumer.
Yeah.
So she's actually saying, I just live to consume content. So I don't know whether they get paid. So if you're getting paid, it's different. Because this day and age, with the advent of those little superstars in America where they make money.
Yeah.
The richest YouTube kid, I forgot his name.
Yeah.
It was kind of Asian descent, Chinese looking kid. He
that
made
plays
money.
With toys.
Yes, he played with toys. Ryan.
Yeah.
Boy, Ryan took over my TV, man. If I catch you, Ryan, jeez.
But you know, even that I think is weird. And I remember I made this statement. I'm like, kids in this generation, I don't understand the concept, right? Because when I was a kid, I would never be interested in watching another kid play with a toy, as opposed to actually playing with the toy. Actually. And I think it's so bizarre that they can spend hours watching kids playing other things, playing with the toys.
But you know what that does? It then puts idea in some parents' minds and say, my kids can do that. And then they go force their kids in TV, and they then realize their kids were absolute rubbish, and they have one view and their mental health is shattered forever.
Yeah, and also I think it's also I mean it's also looking at the detriments of it, because I have this big thing as I think at a young age, right, I have issue with in terms of consent as well, because you as an adult, you're deciding. I know we of course you in everyday life you make decisions and stuff, but I think with how the internet is and the fact that it's really hard to wipe data, especially once it's out there. If somebody
it could come back to bite them while the kid
they can do things.
Yeah, and the kid will sue them once.
Yeah. So because sometimes like I don't, and there's some videos that I've watched, right, where I actually feel uncomfortable for the kid. It's a traumatic experience. Like I think there was one which went viral a few months ago. I think it was this little kid who was so frustrated about something, and she was literally bawling her eyes out and crying, and the mum was laughing at her and filming it. And I was like, what are you doing? Why is this content? Why is the distress of your child content for strangers to consume?
That lady just described herself as a content consumer. So there'll be people out there who consume that. So she's actually feeding into a sort of a need and a gap.
Yeah, feed into a need and a gap. But I always say that I feel like my child's well-being will take precedence over whatever person who wants to consume content. I think there has to be some sort of parameters. And it gets to a point where I've seen videos where I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah, there are
And I'm
stuff that will make one uncomfortable.
And I'm like, I don't think this is something that needs to be on the internet or needs to be up for consumption. This needs to be like a private moment.
Facts, there's loads of that happening. Private moments
I think
for the public.
If you're an adult and fair enough, you decide that you want to plaster parts of your life on the internet, by all means, feel free to do so. But I think I struggle sometimes when I'm like,
But if you look at it,
though, and there's even one I watched where she was like, "Mommy, stop filming," and the mum was laughing and still filming.
But if you look at
that in itself, you're setting, and I know I'm going to sound very passionate about this, but you're absolutely setting an unhealthy boundary for your child. Because if your child is adamant that you need to stop filming, why are you laughing and continuing to film? In that moment, you're telling them that how they feel isn't important.
Of course, yes.
And it's for what? For likes and for strangers to
consume, easy gratification,
and for tabs. It's just to me, from the way that I'm looking at it, I can't justify it.
Yeah, but it's going back to what we're discussing. It is easy gratification, and no one wants to really put in the work or effort. Everyone think we can be instant millionaires and superstars just by owning a phone and a TikTok account that you set up with less than 5 minutes. So no one really want to put in the work. The days of the old where you would have to go, if your daughter or your son is that gorgeous, you go seek out modeling contracts with them and they get free clothes and all of that. Nobody wants to do that. Everybody think, I got a phone, let me put stupid out there. And that's what people are doing. They put stupid out there. And you're absolutely right with the consenting. You are an adult. You consent to put your own stuff there, but this is your child. At the end of the day, you're just like a guardian for them. You should guide them well. And it's getting to a place where governments will start to get involved, and that's what we don't want. Where they'll be policing all of these sites and say, hang on, that's not proper parenting. Maybe you need help or stuff like that. And it is possible a lot of these parents do need help, but they're just masking it in. We're all going for superstardom and making a bit of money on the side. So it is a dangerous terrain.
Yeah, it is, because I know that because Jude, I've known you for a number of years, right? And I don't think I've ever seen you share a picture of your.
No.
It's not till date. I actually don't think I know what your kids look like.
No, you're right.
And that's me being honest, honestly.
You're right. I showed a few people pictures. They asked me, do you have your children's picture? I said, oh, I don't know. Let me check my phone. They're like, really? I'm like, yeah, let me check my phone. Because from day one, I just thought it was personal. I shouldn't be putting things out there. They are my kids. They're not yours. They're not for your consumption. They're my children. Why should I put them there? And also because of something that happened, I think you send pictures of your family to your other extended family back home. I must have sent my daughter's picture when she was just maybe less than a year old. And guess what happened? Not him. We found out that my daughter was a celebrity picture on somebody's signboard. She wasn't getting paid for that, but her face was on that boutique. How did you get... I don't even know these people. How did you get my child's face to be on your... And I saw it, and I was like, no, not on. So my family, extended family, know not to even post any of us when it's our birthday, like people would do.
Yeah.
You don't do that. Not even with my express permission. You're taking it down. You don't do it. And if you do not tag me in them, so that people will put one or two and say, oh, that's Jude's children. So I don't do that. There's a lot of reasons why I don't do it. I'm also politically exposed. Yeah. So if I cause any problem out there, let the implication be on my head, not on people who are near to me. But first things first, I just thought it's a private thing. They're my kids.
Yeah.
Why do I have to put them out there for you to consume?
Yeah.
So that's my own rationale. But yeah, people do that, put their family there. And I tell people, once you put things out there, you're subject to ridicule. Accept it, good or bad criticisms or good or bad comments.
Yeah.
You accept them, but people are not able to accept that and they're complaining. I'm like, but no one forced you though. You put it there.
Yeah.
And not somebody's telling your kid is ugly though, and you're crying. Your kid is ugly though. Well, it's fact. They're telling you the truth. You put your kid out there and somebody say, whoa, the nose on that kid though. And you're there angry. Was it not you who put it there? Hey, see, it's true now. So I don't want nobody telling me your kid is ugly though. And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bullying is real.
Yeah.
It's physical bullying.
Definitely.
There's cyberbullying. Online bullying is crazy.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It affects adults and talk about children.
Yeah.
And these children sometimes they don't want to be in that position. They go to school, they know what they face, but they really can't go against mom and dad. And sometimes they really don't want it there.
And also for me as well, I think it also raises like safety issues.
It does raise safety issues.
Because I've seen instances where people are posting like their kids in their school uniform.
Mm-hmm.
First, especially when it's September, the September run, and there's a lot of we're all going back to school.
Mm-hmm.
And I know like more recently actually people have been blurring out like the name of the schools and the stamps, but a lot of people don't. They just like post it, and I'm like, that also makes me feel uncomfortable.
That's a valid concern, a security
because
concern.
If I know
safety.
you live in a certain area, it's not going to take me very long to figure out.
Yeah,
to Google
where you
the
live,
school
yeah.
and figure out where it is, and I just don't like it.
Schools
because it's such a real danger.
Yeah, schools recognize this danger, and I believe parents like myself, we do get newsletters from them.
Yeah.
How to use online safely,
Yeah.
how to do all of these things safely, and we do get them almost every week. And I print them out and leave them on the table. I print 3 out and give them each. Read them, because again, you can police the mobile phones on their arms every 24 hours that you think you're awake. These kids are smarter than you with technology.
Yeah.
They can do things and use apps to overlay other apps. So you just do the best that you can do, educate them and say, look, these are the dangers of this. There was a young child the other time who was exposed, and people from God know where threatened they'll post his nudes out there, and they ended up taking his life, and there were no nudes. It was just, what if there was? And this child was afraid that they would have, you know what I mean? So it is safety issues for the parents who are doing it and for the child in question. And plus, this child will grow up and said, I never did ask to be put there though. What is this? Looking back, and they can be bullied even as an adult with the pictures when they were young. So it's all around. Parents need to be aware that they're sharing too much. Every individual to themselves. There's no law against it.
I mean, exactly, and that's the thing. And I think it's also, I because sometimes I don't want to speak too much, because when you don't have a kid, I feel like people sometimes feel like your opinions on things are like, you get the odd eye roll, wait until you have a kid. And I'm just like, but just not something that I feel that I'm comfortable with, because it's like, why do I need to share? Oh my God, wake up here today. This is what my kid is having for breakfast. Oh, I'm going to drop him off to school. All right, see you. Bye. School pickup. Hi. Come on. No, but by all means, make the content. But I'm just like, why do I, as a stranger, need to be able to access so much information?
Tough question. It's almost as if these celebrities who were going about hiding the faces of their own children from paparazzi, everyone is freely putting in that now.
Now it's like the complete opposite.
Yeah. Some people genuinely actually put stuff there because it's what they've been told. Like, they think genuinely that their kids are gorgeous and they could easily win that contract, get that modeling contract, and that's free clothes for them and free and some income coming in.
Yeah.
And that's only how they know how to do it, by posting stuff online.
Yeah.
People tell them, just keep putting stuff up there. Sooner or later, Next, H&M, Tesco, Sainsbury, TU Clothing is going to come and see you and knock on your door. And how long do they do that for? How long do they need to wait for? Like you said, safety issues. Where do these pictures end up?
And also, you also need to understand. I'm not going to stop saying this, that there are pedophiles around.
Yeah, I was going to just go there.
And just like having that exposure, you're just also in some way creating avenues.
Fact, there are bad people everywhere, evil people everywhere. not just all kumbaya,
Of
don't hug
course, yeah,
everyone.
yeah,
So
yeah.
people do all sort of sinister things, and who knows what stash of pedophilia catalog the pictures end up? Nobody knows. So yeah, there's a lot of sharing. Again, it tells about the self-esteem of the parents too.
Mm-hmm.
Your daughter's birthdays, your son's birthday, none of us want to know. We don't care.
Yeah.
Invite their close friends, do it indoors. Why are
Mm-hmm.
you saying happy birthday to your daughter online, especially when your daughter is 1, 2, 3? What do they know? Do they own their own Facebook page? Are they going to respond to you? Is this a shade to other people? So there's so many reasons to it
Yeah.
why they do it. But overall, there's a lot of that, and it's gone worse with the rise of TikTok.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's quite
Definitely.
easy
Yeah.
for people to go viral. The setup is quite straightforward. Nobody polices it. They do it.
Because it is mostly on TikTok, and I feel like it's just reels and streams because you just go from one video to the next, and then you're down like a little bit of a rabbit hole.
Like I said earlier, people do this for different reasons. Some people genuinely are asking real questions through
Yeah.
this, like parenting skills. But then again, I don't think it's a right place to be asking for those. Parents have met parents with autistic children.
Yeah.
They've met online because they've shared that. But again, you're right. They didn't have to post the faces of their children.
Yeah,
They just come,
I
talk
mean,
about
yeah,
their
yeah, yeah. I mean,
situation, talk
nobody.
about their
That's
circumstances, and they made up.
Yeah, I think of course there's safe ways
Of course, the safe
of being
ways.
online.
You can share about your child and not share too much.
Of course, exactly.
But you're still sharing. And it's a healthy sort of form of sharing.
Yeah, yeah.
Rather than people finding out where they live and what school they attend and who's offended them yesterday. And you naming the people who've offended them. It's just a whole lot of problems.
Yeah, yeah. So for me, that's my main issue with it, and that's why I sit back and sometimes I'm like, I'm uncomfortable with this content. I'm uncomfortable with the fact that you're doing dress up videos for your kid and they're half naked. I'm uncomfortable. It's all just all these little things, which I think these are private moments, and I think we're perhaps getting to a point in a position whereby I think these moments, which I think really meant for you, your kid,
and for you to enjoy.
It's just so much that, oh my god, let me take my phone out and let me film this and let me do this and let me do that, and I just can't understand.
Okay, it's another thing. A baby burps.
Yeah.
And a crazy mother, a crazy dad thinks is musical in the ear, and they induce the baby to burp and they put it online. Why do we need to see that? You see what I mean? The baby starts saying, "Dada, mama, it's nothing super genius." That's what babies do. They put it there. You know what I mean? The baby quacks is there. The baby eats is there. The baby is big is there. The baby is tiny. I think it's just that instant fame. Everyone wants to be famous, and they don't care how they get there, whether they use their own children to do it.
Yeah.
It's what it is.
Yeah, and it's a shame. It's a real shame.
It is.
But then I sit back and I'm like, sometimes I sit back and I'm like, I might also, because like I said, so I like, at the moment I'm down this rabbit hole of watching kids weaning off of milk and stuff, and I'm like, sometimes I sit back and I'm like, it's weird that I'm sat here watching some random kid eat. It's strange. It's making me question myself too, because why am I watching this?
But would expectant mothers or mothers who are breastfeeding not think that those videos were educational to them? Or
yeah, possibly. I'm sure they are.
Yeah.
But I still don't. That still doesn't negate the fact that it's strange that as an adult I'm sat here watching a stranger's kid eat.
It would have been better served if they were talking about it and not using the kid's face.
Yeah, I think maybe then I'd feel.
But baby attracts all sort of attention. Maybe that's why they're doing it as well.
Possibly.
If the adult was the one saying all of that stuff, it wouldn't really attract that engagement. But if you put a baby's face who's going coo, 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 behind, they'll be like, oh, what a cute baby, what a cute dad. And the traffic then comes. Maybe that's the agenda.
Possibly. I mean, I suspect that might be like a contributor. I do. But then from my perspective, I think what I am perhaps struggling with, and I say this is because I feel like with millennials, I think we've kind of seen quite a lot of changes. And I guess from my perspective, it's comparing my childhood to like what I see I guess it's basically millennial parents actually, what they're doing with their kids, and I'm like, this is so weird. Like, why are we doing this?
And
Because our parents didn't do this, so why are we doing this?
our parents didn't have access to.
That I know, but then it just wasn't that. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like,
I
okay,
get it.
maybe you have a kid, you have a thing, you shelter them so much.
Yes.
Even back
You actually protect them.
Imagine when you're pregnant, you be hiding. Nobody will know it. They just see you, baby. Think about it. No, seriously.
Facts.
Because there's just this whole idea of like shelter.
It is your private life as well. It has to be private.
Exactly.
But these days, you eat, you do anything, it's
Everything
out there.
is online.
Yeah, and you wonder why we get children now being online by themselves, and the trend is so bad, especially in Nigeria. You get real young children, as young as 9, 10, 11, 12, doing all sort of nasty things online. And it's as a result of all of this, because there's no boundaries.
And I think also, let's not also forget the fact that you're being groomed.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Because you don't, and this is the thing, it's hard as much as you might try. It's really difficult to police your child 24/7, especially if you're working and if you're doing this. There'll be those moments where you won't be around. And if they have access to certain things, they're susceptible. That took me a while to say that word. to certain things. And now people are hacking, they're doing this. Like, they'll be like,
people can blackmail you from your AI is powerful now, because
exactly.
I saw some videos yesterday. This must be AI generated. They look so real. Two babies, a girl and a boy. They must have been 2 years. They were punching each other, real punch, and the girl will hit the boy will hit the girl will fall. It came on my timeline. I said, this can't be real. Who will allow 2 children beat themselves? So I couldn't tell. I still could not tell.
Baby boxing.
Yeah. So I still could not tell, but I put on the comment and said, is this real or AI? Because it's so real.
Yeah.
But looking at it, I'm like, this can't be real. Allowing 2 children beat themselves and you were laughing behind. I said, no, this must be AI generated. So we don't really know what is what anymore.
No, we don't. No,
so there's no boundaries to this. There's no regulation. There's no law about it. But to go the other side, I think, God forbid, when parents have issues with the state, when social services creep up, we do use this as evidence, though. You know
really?
that?
Of course, I didn't know that.
Yeah. We will throw your whole social media page.
Oh, okay.
And that will be a way we paint a picture of how your parenting skills are. That's fact.
Okay.
We ain't gonna go through your family life with it without going through your social media, your Facebook, your Instagram, your TikTok.
Yeah.
We'll be going through that to see, because if allegations come and say, look, this is neglect happening, we'll have our powers to go search all of that. Okay. If we needed to, and paint a picture of you, and then make an informed decision about your parenting skills and what the next steps are for us.
Yeah.
Nothing happens in a vacuum. It's there for us to see.
That's a valid
point. We will paint a picture of you using those videos and whatever you've put out there. And to those parents too who are not putting out there, you're not losing out on anything. No. Your family life is meant to be a private one, and it's yours. It's private. Keep it. You share as much as you want to share with whom you want to share with, and there are other things to help you online as well. Yeah. You can share with your close people. Yeah, of course. Instructing them not to share external. And also put some security measures where no other person who you're not friends with can be viewing your that is good. That's fantastic, and I think that is a good thing, because adults will add you as a friend, but you can see their friends list. It's good because they don't have their friends' consent for you to share that. That's why they're protecting that. Yeah. And that should go for our children as well. You should, apart from close family friends, because we can't neglect the fact that social media and tech is the way forward. Of course. We're using it big time in funeral and end of life services. And these things are that. And some people genuinely putting it out there as catalog. We're talking about memory box. Yeah. Memory boxes. You know what that is. Yeah. So sometimes we use the real boxes. We create boxes, put stories and pictures and all. But we're no longer restricted to a physical cardboard box. You've got, So your phone, your social media, your Facebook page, your TikTok can be the memory box for your children to see later, especially those who are experiencing debilitating diseases or life-limiting disease, end of
but,
life.
but you can make it
That-
private.
Again, that's what I'm coming.
It doesn't have
so,
to be
so,
open,
so we're
like-
putting it out there as
Yeah.
solutions. Yes, you're using it as that. Your children will grow to see, wow, that's how mom looked. Me and mom was like this, but you can make it private until set time. You tell somebody to release them, and if your daughter or your son want to make them public, that's fine. Because I know we're using text gradually for memory boxes and creating those memories for people who are going through end of life. So it's not all doom and gloom.
No, not at
but
all.
I think people need to be aware of how they can protect themselves, because there are bad people out there. There are evil people.
Yeah. And most definitely. And I think as a parent, you also have to do all you can to ensure that you're not putting your kid's life in danger. You might think, okay, this is just something that's harmless, or something, and then indirectly you then also put them in danger. I think recently, there was a story that I read about this guy who got arrested, and he was basically like using pictures of children and like editing them and making. So they were basically creating pornographic photographs of children, but he had used AI to do it, but used real faces.
That's some of the dangers.
So I think as much as, yes, we've got a lot of technological advances, which are great, fantastic, and honestly, you also need to be aware. And so much as when we were growing up, you were aware of the stranger danger, you also need to be aware now, I guess, of the...
the stranger danger is no longer physical, it's there.
Yeah, it's there also, like on the internet and elsewhere. So that's something that it's very, 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 very...
It's very valid.
Very important.
Very, very important.
Yeah. And on that note...
Play safe.
Yeah, play it safe.